When you doubt the architecture of your own spine, I am there floating at the rafters of your quietest catastrophes, counting your resurrections. You have lived like a violin bow dragged across storms. The string should have snapped, the wood should have splintered, yet you made music from the pressure. I watched you in the hours that did not leave fingerprints, when the night pressed its forehead against yours and asked how much longer you could stay intact. You answered by breathing, by remaining, by not vanishing when disappearance felt merciful. You learned the mathematics of endurance without ever writing it down. How much weight a heart can hold before it begins to speak in silence. How many times a soul can bend before it becomes something else. You carried yourself through ordinary hours that were anything but ordinary. Hours stitched with doubt, with tired courage, with a patience that had no witnesses. No one saw the way you negotiated with the dark, offering it neither surrender nor spectacle. You stayed. And staying, that quietly radical act altered the shape of what you would become. I watched the pain arrive with instructions. It told you to harden, to sharpen yourself into something untouchable, to collect the damage and return it with interest. You listened, and then you refused. You let the hurt pass through you without letting it claim residency. You felt it fully, but you did not kneel to it. You did not build a throne for bitterness or turn your grief into a language spoken at others. There were days when cruelty offered itself as protection, when becoming colder looked like the fastest way to survive. You understood the offer, and still you declined. You kept your hands open even when they were empty. You guarded the soft parts of you not by hiding them, but by choosing when to let them breathe. That restraint, that refusal to rot was not accidental. It was work, invisible, exhausting work. And I saw you do it without ever asking the world to notice. I watched you learn how to function inside days that offered no permission. Days that did not ask how you were, only what you could still carry. You answered by showing up with a body that remembered motion even when the spirit lagged behind. You became fluent in unfinished thoughts, in pauses that never resolved, in questions that slept beside you and woke without answers. You learned to move forward without the comfort of understanding where forward would lead. There was effort in every ordinary gesture, in standing, in listening, in choosing not to collapse publicly or privately. No one marked this as labor, no ledger recorded the cost, but I watched the way you spent yourself carefully, rationing hope, preserving enough belief to survive the next hour. Continuing did not feel heroic, it felt necessary, and necessity became your quiet craft. You did not triumph, you persisted, and persistence reshaped you in ways applause never could. I watched you decide where to set your softness down, not everywhere, not carelessly, but with a precision born of injury. You learned that tenderness left unguarded could become a wound that never closed. You did not turn to stone, you did not evaporate into distance. You became deliberate. You chose when to care, when to open, when to hold yourself back from bleeding in rooms that would not tend to you. There were moments when withholding felt cruel, when restraint looked like failure. But I saw the wisdom in it. You were not shrinking, you were conserving. You kept warmth alive by sheltering it. You kept compassion breathing by refusing to exhaust it on indifference. This was not fear. It was discernment learned through loss, and in protecting the tender parts of you, you ensured they would survive long enough to matter again. If these words stayed with you, do not rush past them. Return when the dark feels familiar. Share this with someone who keeps going unseen. Your endurance has witnesses.